Hey guys, it's Erin, and it's flow time. So remember, this is the journal I got from Tiffany over at Southern Gals Designs, and I got to flip through here and find 3 things that I'm going to use to create this project with. So let's see, I got 1, 2, one more thing, 3. All right, so here are the items I chose in Slowmo. If you would like to see what I create with this, then just keep watching. Okay, so we're gonna start with this cute little frame, and I have this idea in mind, cut it out and actually use it like a frame. So I wanted it to be a little bit thicker than it was. So I added some double-sided tape, the Suquang or score tape, and I'm going to stick it down to some heavy-duty white cardstock. And then we'll go ahead and cut it all out. I'm not gonna cut out any of the little hanging down designs because that would just be too much work. So I'm just gonna follow the black line all the way around. And there we go. Now I'm going to cut out the inside using just a ruler and an X-Acto blade. And once I started to cut around the edges, I realized it wasn't actually a straight line. It was more kind of curved. So then I just decided to go ahead and freehand it a little bit. And because it was on the thicker cardstock, I needed to go around a second time. So while I'm cutting out here, I just wanted to take a quick moment to apologize about my screen. I have a new camera set up and I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it's like this little mini square. So I will get that figured out for the next video. So we have our cute little frame all cut out, and I'm gonna take this Faber Castell big brush marker in black, and I'm just gonna go around the edges on the outside and on the inside. So that way, in case I didn't cut it perfect, it's gonna blend in with the rest of the design. Now I'm gonna grab my big art go bag, and it has all my pens and markers and paints and everything in it. And I'm gonna take, I think it's the Moonlight collection from the Gelli Roll Sakura, but I will put everything I use down in the description box below so you can double check down there. But I'm basically going to use every color from this bright neon collection. I love these pens. They're so vibrant. It's awesome. It took me forever to color, but with the power of technology, I can just do little snippets and you can watch and see how we did it in the process. Then I'm going to take that corkboard piece from Tiffany's Flow, and I loved it. I had this great idea of doing maybe like a bulletin board, but the red didn't really match with my theme, so I was going to grab my little hot pink Gelli Roll pen and color those diamonds in. And then it wasn't as bright as I wanted, so I thought if I took the electric neon Elmer's Painter's pen and colored it in, that it would be brighter, and it kind of really wasn't, and it wasn't a very fine point, so it was hard to get into the diamonds really well, but I had already painted some, so I just did a couple more, so it kind of looked like it was supposed to be that way. Hey, you do what you gotta do. It's all good. And then we're gonna cut that out so we can stick it to the frame. So I'm gonna take a thinner version of my Suquang tape and just go around the inside of the frame. Do a little cleanup. And I wanted to show you that this cork paper was actually sticky on the back too. So I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. Now stay with me and you'll see why in a couple seconds here. So I stuck it to some adhesive backed foam. It's just craft foam. You can get tons of it at Walmart for super cheap. And I grabbed the pink. I don't think it really matters on color, but I thought if you look kind of sideways, then that at least it would sort of match with the theme. So I'm going to not only double that, but I am going to triple that up so it's nice and thick. And you'll see why. And one piece actually tripled it, which was pretty awesome. Waste not, want not. Use it all up. There we go. Now we will get the frame put on there. But I noticed that I hadn't cut it small enough. So I couldn't do it with the scissors now that I added all the foam, so I grabbed my little cutting board and the X-Acto blade and just sort of trimmed a little bit off. I eyeballed it. Much better. Then we'll just peel off the tape on the other side and stick it all down. Now we'll clear off the table here. We're going to put that off to the side. And now we're going to work on the base part of the page. So I just grabbed a piece of watercolor paper. It was used, but it doesn't really matter. It's the one side that I want. The other side will probably be covered up with future projects, or if I decide to put it into a book, which was kind of my idea. So I'm going to grab just some neon, I think it's neon blue Craftsmart paint. It's just the cheap stuff from the cheap neon paints from Michaels. And then I'm going to use the fluorescent yellow and just take an old credit card and spread it on the page. This is also a 9x9 square piece of paper. I cut it down, so in case you were wondering. Then I'm going to take one of these awesome stencils from Echo Park. It's the Deco Dots. And I'm going to take the neon orange or fluorescent orange. Again, it'll be down in the description box. And I'm just going to sponge that on to the page. And of course, I got to get it all over the page. Just trying to eyeball, see what else I wanted to put onto it. So then I'm going to grab the basically squared stencil from Diane Reevely, and I'm going to use the aubergine impasto paint from Art Alchemy Finnabar's products. I love it. It's like a deep, deep purple, but it almost looks like it's black. And I'm going to stick those around. Then I decided to take some of my little foamy stamps that I made and dab those all over the place. And if you're interested to see how I made those, I'll put a little box up above there and you can click on that and watch that video. Still haven't decided on the placement yet. Gotta add some more stuff. I felt like maybe the colors were kind of overpowering, so I just took some plain white gesso and I was gonna brayer in here near the center where I wanted to have the frame go. Kind of white it out a little bit. And getting better, but not there yet. We'll dry it some before we hit the next step. Then I'm going to take these IrRESISTible neons. I use these a lot if you've seen any of my other videos. I love this stuff. It's kind of a weird like texture spray. It dries kind of lumpy, I guess. I don't know. It's really cool. But they have, of course, neon colors, so I had to do some dribbles of paint on there for that. And I was going to dry it, but then I decided I didn't want them really raised, so I just grabbed some deli paper and smushed it over to kind of pull off some of it, and then just dried it. Then I decided I wanted to have some sort of a border on it. So I'm going to take my big brush marker again, the black one, and I'm just going to doodle on a border. And color it in. Just freehand, nothing too fancy. Then kind of playing around with the placement again. I still wasn't happy, it just needed to be a little bit more white, so I was going to add some more gesso. And I put too much on, so then I smushed it off with some crumpled up deli paper, and then I thought, well, heck, I'm just gonna use this, and I'll just kind of dab it around. Give it a little texture look. And then dry it. Then I'm gonna grab my the Stencil Collection pastels, and if you happen to see, I just pushed my whole page into that wet gesso over there. Oh, good times, Erin. So anyways, I'm gonna grab this yellow and I'm gonna go around the whole outside frame there. See, whoops, uh-oh, there we go. We'll just cover it up, no big deal. Go around the whole inside, and then I'm gonna take a dry paintbrush and I'm going to blend it in a little bit more so it creates a softer look. Try and wipe off some in the black. And then I just decided, well, I got some paint on there, so I might as well just go around the edges and brighten up the very edge against the yellow pastel. Make it pop more. Getting better. So then, couldn't decide what to do now. I still had to use that third element. What was I going to do? So I thought, well, I have some sparkle ribbon that kind of matches, so maybe we could make it like a hanging frame. And just futz around a little bit. Glue that down so it didn't come apart. And cut the edges of the ribbon. It wasn't drying as fast as I wanted, so I just touched it with the heat tool. There, so then see, we have this little star, and it can be the thing that's holding it up. So, back to the cutting board. I grabbed my blade, measured out where I wanted the star to go, and then I wanted just the little part of the star, not the big part. So I smushed the back side on the back and then just pushed the little part of the star through, and then pushed up the ribbon underneath it to get it to stay. And then I'm gonna grab just some, and of course it happened to be hot pink, go figure, but just take some washi tape and tape that down on the back so the star didn't come off. And then here's where that sticky foam will come in, because we can just stick it right down to the page. But I was afraid that it might come off where the ribbon was, so I added some more double-sided tape to that just to give it a little extra hold there. And then just kind of line it up where you want it and push it down. Now we have this cute little bulletin board on our designed page. So then I'm going to take my white gel pen and I'm just going to doodle on a little border here. And while I was doing that, I thought, okay, I've got this great, cute little bulletin board. We'll take some thumbtacks. And how fun would it be to either have like a journal page, or maybe you could, hang this somewhere in your house or on your fridge and just leave cute little notes for yourself or for your loved ones on it, I mean, it's also Thanksgiving season, time to be thankful. So maybe you could just put some little thankful notes. But anyway, it's changeable. You can make it your own. So that I thought was kind of fun. So here I just decided the Gelli Roll Pen wasn't going to work, and I grabbed the white Sharpie paint pen, and that seemed to be much better and a little bit brighter too. And then gonna add a couple little designs because the black spots, those fatter black spots just seemed boring. And seriously, I could futz and futz and futz all day. So I just have to eventually stop myself. And so I grabbed the Faber Castell, another big brush marker, but in the white to kind of go over those white spots a little bit more. And I had my thumbtacks, and then I found this puffy heart, and it had an adhesive back. So I just popped on my thumbtack, and now I had this super cute puffy heart thumbtack to put my notes on with. I was so excited. Then I'm gonna just find some ephemera pieces that I want to stick on there and, you know, do them all up right. But this is how I went with my flow. It took me way out of my comfort zone, but it was super fun, and I'm so excited that I'm going on this journey with Tiffany. And speaking of Tiffany, make sure that you check out her video. I'll put her channel link down below and see what she did for her first flow. So there you have it, guys. We are done. I am excited. I hope you had fun watching, and stay tuned for the next flow in the next couple weeks. It's gonna be fun.